Today I'm going to plant up a basket to give a fantastic bit of summer colour. Before you actually start planting, always double check the basket. Make sure it's in good condition so it isn't going to fall apart. Check the chains are okay so it doesn't fall apart when it's hanging up, because of course these baskets get pretty heavy. Before you start putting any compost in, always make sure the chains are on the right side of the basket. To start with, that's on the outside. That'll become clear in a minute. Basket on a pot, an empty pot, so it doesn't roll around, and it's also at a very nice working height. We've got some compost here. The fertiliser's already been added, and that will be a long-lasting fertiliser that will go right through the season. And we've got water holding gel, which is most important because that will reduce the amount of water we need to put on here. Some compost in the bottom, and we'll start with our centre plant, which is going to be a fantastic little bush fuchsia. Nice bit of root on there. That's going to get away very quickly. Planting. We put the centre plant in so it's below the surface of the container, in this case the hanging basket, because we don't want the compost mounded up, because when we water later on, of course, it'll all run off. If we form a slight hollow, the water is more likely to stay in the basket. First plant right in the middle. We're going for flower and foliage on this planting, and of course we want trailing plants, and some of those we want to go down over the edge of the basket. So place them around the edge. Here we got a lovely purpley blue bacopa. Lovely contrasting colour here. That can go in. Always make sure the label's there so we can remember what it is later on. And the final bit of foliage is this fantastic coloured Lysomachia. Beautiful golden foliage right through the air. And that's going in there. And that's the first bit of planting done. A little bit of compost around, because the next plants are a little bit smaller. You notice that I'm not firming this compost in very much because we don't want to compact it too much, because we'll add to the weight, but equally importantly we don't want to be squashing all the air out, because plants need a balance of air and water, and if we firm this down too much then of course that air is reduced. That'll do for now. Making sure that there are no big air pockets, of course. And now we're ready for the final bit of planting, which is this fantastic lobelia sapphire, and this lovely deep rich colour of purpley colour will go down over the edge. So one in the edge of there, and these lovely plug plants. Look at the root on that. One here, pop them in, not over firming. Another one here, because we want to make sure this basket is well and truly filled. And one more in there. Pop them in, check the compost levels, check they're not going to fall out. And that's it. Apart from getting the chains out from the base. And this could either work or not work. And we pull them around very carefully. Making sure we don't damage the plants, making sure they're okay. Back on the basket. We check that that's all lined up, no plants getting damaged. The plants are all facing in the right direction. And look at that. I'm going to take it outside to water it. With this heat and high light levels we're now getting, this basket will look superb within the next few days. Of course, over the whole of the summer, as long as we get enough water on there and enough feed, it'll romp away.